Não, partiu D2, calma, velho. Pô, 4x5, velho. 13-11, calma. Os caras não tá com muito dinheiro, não. Olha a grana do time da Astralis. A gente ainda tá com dinheiro. É um vacilo, é um vacilo. Mesmo perdendo esse round aqui. Ó, here he comes once again, ó. Nossa, o Luck tirou a... O moleque é bom, viu, velho? O moleque é bom, velho. Tô falando. Ó. Ah, não, Elichão. Ah, não, Elichão. Ah, não, Elichão. Aí acabou. Aí acabou. Aí acabou. Hoje não, né? Hoje não, velho. Hoje não. Hoje não. Calma, o Green passou pelo menos. Quase pegou a info. Não. Caiu a lista. Mas calma. Caiu a lista. Caiu a lista. 1x3. O Fallen sabe que tá... Sabe, não sabe. 1x2. Calma, professor. Ele sabe dos dois. Vai fazer smoke. Se jogar pra baixo. Não se jogou. 15-11. Não temos dinheiro. Dá risada. Faz meme. Dust 2. Olha... NT, hein, velho. NT. Faltou gás, velho. Faltou gás, velho. Faltou gás. Faltou gás. Acho que foi... Putz, eu falei alguma coisa ali, né? Também naquele negócio do... Que a Astralis não tinha pontuado de CT também, né, velho? Nossa, depois daquilo acho que a Astralis não perdeu nenhum, cara. Que absurdo, velho. Tony Dark, obrigado por mais 10 subs. O Lucão, o King, muito obrigado. O Ronaldo, NMAP, muito obrigado aí pelo sub também. O Berturgo, Luan. É map point pro time da Astralis. Todo drama. É Fallen de Eagle, Steel e humilde de P250 e utilitária pra atacar. Nem colete. Não, né? Temos colete, mas até tá difícil, velho. Acabou. Dois x 2 hein? Plantar é humilde. Se plantar é humilde. Nossa, varado, cara. Bora, bora, Eligião. Bora, Eligião. Tá 11, jogão, hein, velho. Nossa, velho. Mano, vou pegar uma água, fazer o número 1. Vou até passar pra dar uma desicada aqui, ó. Já voltamos, velho.
Fallen é o cara que surgiu assim do nada e explodiu, assim, foi reconhecido muito rápido.
Então acho que é algo assim que ele é um talento que ele tem que é absurdo. Ele estuda muito o game, ele estuda. Mas tem muita gente que
Eu não sei. Tá difícil, né, cara? Nossa, chegar nesse 56 tá muito difícil, né? Esse 56 moral, né? Nossa senhora, velho. Um salve, Gui Soares. Obrigado aí pelos vintão, viu? Pra máquina dos
Pergunta o
sonhos.
Fallen se eles aceitam visita no CT da Holanda. Manda salve pro Elmorro na Bélgica.
Elmorro na Bélgica, tamo junto, viu? Posso perguntar, velho, se existe alguma espécie de tours, né? Tira a mão de mim, tira a mão de mim. Às vezes existe alguma espécie de tours, né?
Valeu, meu querido.
Pros fãs, velho. Às vezes, vou perguntar pra ele. Né? Às vezes, alguns...
Você gosta de coco?
E... Astralis e Liquid não passa, hein, velho? Tamo de TR, ou se isso é ruim. Aqui eu não vou mentir não, cara. Aqui eu tô tenso e vamos ter fé, cara. Parou aí, hein? Terceiro e decisivo mapa. Quem ganhar aqui vai pra grande final, que é na sequência, 15 horas e 30 minutos, né? Quem ganhar aqui vai pro terceiro mapa. Quem perder, tá na repescagem. Beleza, uma boa trade, uma boa trade. E já, ó, já ficamos com a info, ó. É tudo na mão do Magisk, Beleza, beleza, a B é nossa. Deu mel, 2x3. Ah, a C4 ficou, porra. Pegou. Tá, 2x3, a B é nossa. Tá ótimo. Tá ruim não, bomba plantada. Não vai pro escuro não, mulinha. Olha que balinha. Mas era o cara zoado. Não vai, só cruza. Ah, porra. 1x1. NT, né? Ainda tem 2%, 1% de chance a Liquid de ganhar, cara. Espero que dê. 1% ainda, cara. 1% ainda, cara. Detalhe. Vacilou demais, velho. O Na-Fly, tá ligado? Que é um clutch zero nato. Fez esse barulho ali, demonstrando o lugar onde tava. Demonstrou um pouco de nervosismo. Mas aí, ó, é 3 AK e uma Scout. 3 AK, cara. Meu amigo, um bom round aí pro time da Liquid, hein? Nossa! Beleza, matou. Que isso, Na-Fly? Que beleza, hein? Porra, que fala do Na-Fly, hein? Nossa, salvou legal. Nossa, o Steel foi rasgado também agora, hein? Tomou uma escaltada. Calma. 5x4, segundo round. Round de extrema importância aí pro desenrolar do comecinho do... Ai. Tá jogando fino o Luck, já taxou o Steel e já taxou também o Elijão que tomou ali a escaltada. Ó o Dupri, HE no pé. Esse round aqui já foi, velho. Nossa, o round tava bom, o round tava legal. 2-0, o Astralis tem um CT forte na Dust 2. Olha. Não vai ser fácil não, hein? Não vai ser fácil não, cara. Equinho. 2 Astralis, 0 Liquid. A Astralis querendo uma vaga na final da Blast em casa. E a Liquid brigando pra... tirar essa vaga da Astralis. Dá na cara dele, professor. Dá na cara dele. Toma. Toma, marreco. Toma. Não vai dar pra pegar a arma dele, não. Só segurar. O Pri podia avançar aí, né? Aí, avançou. Mas aí o Green já tinha virado. Estão com bastante informação, a Astralis. Já sabem que, né, o escuro já tá ali sossegado. Eles sabem que vai ser pro bombear, ó. Já vai girando. Já tá todo mundo. Beleza, Steel mata o Magisk. 1 por 1. XY devolve. Ai, olha o XY. Fallen, devolve. Vai cair de costas. Já é 1x3 do nada, velho. Do nada a casa caiu, velho. Do nada a casa caiu, velho. O Nafly tá de Zig-Zauer. Zig-Zauer. Tem a C4 pra ele. 18 segundos. Vai ter que ir até a varanda pegar essa C4. Já girou lá pro fundo. Pelo menos plantar deve dar, cara. Não dá nada. 4-0. Ainda não acabou, não. Dá risada, né, velho? Dá risada. A situação, velho. Acabou a crise, velho. Acabou a crise. Acabou a crise. Não tem mais crise na Astralis, cara. Acabou a crise na Astralis, cara. Do nada, do nada, do nada, acabou a crise na Astralis, velho. Olha... A crise agora é na Liquid, velho. Que isso, Luke? Empurrado ali, hein? Beleza, beleza. Opa, opa, tá aí. Os dois estão armados, com colete. Smokezinha na porta. Porra, capricha aí, Elijão. Steel, e capricha aí. Caprichou. 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 É nosso. Porra, que eco beleza que entrou, hein, cara. Que beleza. 4-1 era o round que a gente precisava, cara. Era o round que a gente precisava, velho. Porra, 4-1. Temos um rego. Temos um rego, cara. Temos um rego. Olha, e é dos grandes, velho. E é dos grandes. Pode comemorar até o momento. Temos um rego. Não vai ser aquelas passeatas de 16-0 não, cara. Beleza, Fallen. Presente. Olha o timing do professor. Porra. Eles têm certeza que tem um cara... O Magista tinha certeza que tinha um cara na direita. Ele deve estar... Ué. Ó, já pegamos a vantagenzinha de leve. Vantagenzinha de leve. Entramos, hein? Não. Entramos. Calma. Tem 3 aí. Os 3 estão na... Beleza, calma. Acorda aí, Green. Acorda aí, cara. Stewie e na Fly. Vamos caprichar? Mesma situação, praticamente? Vamos caprichar? Que pixel, hein, cara? Que pixel corrupto, cara. Que beleza. O cara nem... Mano, o cara não fazia nem ideia do que... O cara tá... Pô, o cara era um carro. O cara era um carro. O carro atirou nele. Quatro a 2. Olha. Ai, que maravilha. Que maravilha. Cara, difícil, velho. Jogo muita pressão, né, cara? Muita pressão, velho. Muita pressão, velho. Olha. Tudo. É louco, cara. O clima de tensão está instaurado na partida. O clima de tensão está instaurado na partida. Eco deles, tão quebrado, né? E é eco, não é qualquer eco, não. É eco USP, porra. Que equinho gostoso. Tá atrás do pau na Fly, hein? Olha aí. Ó. Porra, cara. Blocados. Blocados. Sol do Pri, 1 contra 5. 4 a 3. E ó a seriedade. Ninguém caçando, dedinho no alck, parece old school cage, não é? 1 contra 5. Aí, qual a chance? Nenhuma, cara. Isso é comprometido. Aí, é isso. É isso. É isso, né? Cara... 1v5, eco dos caras, sabe que é USP e todo mundo como? Suave, andando de boa, sem acelerar, sem se empolgar, uma tranquilidade plena, né? Uma tranquilidade serena, como quem não quer, né? Se empolgar nem caçar eco. Não tem ninguém aí do time da Liquid que precisa ficar caçando eco, que nem, né, cara? Vocês sabem quem. 4 Astralis, 3 Liquid. Mata ele. Boa, Elijão. Boa, Elijão. Você, né? Você. Não entra na frente do professor, não, cara. Falta de educação, né? Ó. Tá, o jogo agora Jogo estudado, 40 segundos, 8º round, Astralis 4, Liquid 3, acabou um pouco aquele clima de risadinha que tava por parte da Astralis. Opa, só no bracinho. Aí o XY, ó. Nossa, aí o duplo não acabou aí o round, hein? Aí guardou, hein? Aí guardou, velho, guardou. Nossa, aí a risadinha, volta o clima de risadinha. Aí volta o clima, ó lá, volta o clima aí de risadinha, né, cara? Porra, não sei, cagou, não cagou. Nossa, o que rolou aí, rapaziada, né, velho? Voltou aqui, que rolou aí, rapaziada, cara. Voltou aí, rapaziada, cara. Que voltou aí? Não, falta a carta 100, mas no caso da Astralis, também tá faltando, tá ligado, velho? No caso da Astralis também, velho. Não vamos também, né? A carta 100 da Astralis também tá faltando, cara. A carta 100 da Astralis também se foi, né? 5 Astralis, 3 Liquid. Tirou tinta, cara. Ai, vazou o cano. Tava... deu... Essa entrada B com meio tava dando tão certo, não tava? Todas as entradinhas meio com B funcionou tão legal, cara. Eu sei que né, tá querendo uma variação. Mas desde o... Ó lá, moscou. Essa entradinha meio com B tá funcionando legal. Chama a atenção do meio e entra B. Tá funcionando bacana. Ó lá. Nossa senhora aí. Calma. Tem bastante tempo. 5x3. Pensa. Reflete. Calcula. Valoriza, né? Ó. Não. Beleza. Nossa. Graças a Deus, o cara... Nossa, aí... Nossa, ainda bem que o cara não foi guloso, né? Nossa, ainda bem que o cara não foi guloso. 0%. O bot já deu 0%. A Z4 acabou de plantar, cara. Porra, aí o cara... Porra, aí faltou humildade, né? Porra, aí alastraram o Lucky, cara. Porra, esse 0% aí foi desrespeitoso com o Lucky, hein? Não, o bot lúcido. Porra, cara, aí foi desrespeito isso daí, hein? Porra, tinha acabado de plantar. Não, 1% reclama, mas 0% também reclama. Não, velho. Porra, aí foi desrespeito, velho. Porra, desrespeitoso, velho. Não, olha... Não. Desrespeitoso, velho. Desrespeitoso, cara. Esse bot aí, isso aí claramente não é inteligência artificial, não, cara. Isso aí é alguém tirando uma com a nossa cara, cara. Inteligência artificial o quê, cara? É alguém tirando uma com a nossa cara, cara. Olha... 5x5, hein? Ô, jogaço, cara. Jogaço, tá vendo? Eu falei pra você, não foi bom vir pra Dust 2? Não foi bom? Olha que partida boa. Que partida boa nesse terceiro mapa. Que partida boa, cara. E aí, não querendo terceiro mapa. Que partida boa. Aí, né? Terceiro mapa, o Bubis cansou o joelho aí, tirou ele do sovaco E tá, né? Ó, e o Fallen conversando, acionando ali o professor, falando aí com a equipe, né? Falando, não sei se tá feliz, não sei se não tá. 5-5, tudo igual. Uma economia saudável, né? Médico financeiro aqui, uma economia saudável do time da Liquid até o momento, velho. Pô, não tá ruim não. 8 mil no Elige, 6k no Fallen. Ele viu, hein? O Nafly viu. O Nafly tá ali. Não vem que eu atiro. Não vem que eu atiro. Não vem que eu atiro. O Nafly tá ali. Olha que beleza, hein? E aí, pra B. É isso aí, pra B. Olê! Não, não, já viu que a W já não se envolve mais. Essa treta aí, ó. Nossa. Isso, aí com smoke legal. Smoke legal. Ó. Olha aí. Meu, oh, parabéns, viu, cara? Parabéns. Que execução maravilhosa, cara. Parabéns. Nossa, parabéns, velho. Que isso, velho. Porra, parabéns, velho. Nossa, olha aí, 2% agora. Até aumentou 3, 2. Os caras tá indo guardar. Deram 0% pro Lucky, cara. Deram 0% pro rapaz, velho. Aí. E aula, bonito, velho. Bonito, bonito. O Elijão tá indo. Tá indo caçar, ó. Tá indo caçar, ó. Rasgados. Sem dinheiro para eles. Rasgados e sem... Oh, que o round, cara. Quanta tática bonita, hein? Mano, quanta tática bonita do time da Liquid. Não é não, cara? Quanta tática bonita do time da Liquid, cara. Espero que a Astralis também tenha táticas tão bonitas assim pra gente continuar vendo um belo jogo no segundo tempo, correto? Estamos aqui, pagamos ingresso pra ver jogo bonito, cara. Porra, quem veio do garotinho, tamo junto, viu? Quem veio do garotinho aí, tamo junto. Acabou a gincana, velho? Porra, quem veio do garotinho aí, estamos juntos, viu? Olha, tamo aí, velho. Foi God, né? Meu filho falou pra eu vir aqui, aqui estou. Tamo junto. Quem veio do gank dos filhos também, tamo junto. Do cabelo eu vi, a gente viu os clipes e tudo. No intervalo a gente tava vendo. Caiu o green. Não, não, não. Entrou na B, segura, segura. Calma, planta direto, professor. Planta direto. Cara, vamos perder esse roundzinho, não. O Fallen vai pro escuro. Caramba, velho. O Fallen adora matar nós do coração, cara. Nossa, na hora que ele tirou a mira dali, o Nafly apareceu, vocês viram? Nossa. Ai, ai, ai. Olha o Elijão, olha o Elijão. Nossa, deu tudo errado pros caras, velho. Nossa, 7-5. 7-5. Nossa senhora. Elijão é o nome da fera. 7-5. Sobrou o Luck, tá ótimo, velho. Olha, tá aí, na espera, velho. Nossa, o Dupri, hein? Olha o Bubis, uma bala em cada. Ó, quando o Bubis tirou a mira, velho. Que timing do Elijão, velho. Que timing do Elijão, velho. Que timing do Elijão. E aí o Sonic ali, de canto de zóio, né? Um salve pro Muramo, o Barroso, o Avolation, o TG Martin. Olha, Elige carta 100, será? Olha. Meu amigo. Que gank da Murante, cara. Vocês estão de brincadeira com a minha cara, cara. Aí, ó o Luke. Sete Liquid, 5 Astralis, mais um pontinho pra gente virar o primeiro tempo com 8, tá bom? 8 tá bom de TR? Ou mapa full TR? Mais um pontinho? Mais um pontinho humilde? Ó, a gente entendeu que o ouro tá nesse bomb B, lembra? A gente entendeu. Ai, beleza, Fallen. Esse é a rotação. Os caras do B ainda tá no B. Os caras do B ainda tá no B. Nossa, ficou bom pro Luke isso daí. A gente vai, ó. Tá passando, entramos. Olha que maravilha. Calma. Beleza. 3x2, maravilha. Os caras não vão poder vir, não. Porra, tá aí, cara. Ô, maravilha. B de bem-vindo, B de bombe aberto, B de bomba plantada, B de casa nossa, B de bombe badaras, B de não tá segurando, B de chat mula, B de Brasil, que beleza, hein? Nossa senhora, que bombe, B de bombe legal, né? Olha, B de presente, né? Olha, até agora, 0% de novo no Lucky, cara. Porra, que sacanagem com o rapaz, velho. Que sacanagem com o rapaz. De novo, cara. De novo. Porra, cara. E embrasou. Ô, tava 5 Astralis, 3 Liquid. Tava 5 Astralis, 3 Liquid. Aí o time da Liquid escutou o meu conselho. Que o bombe A tá embaçado. Bombe A... de bombe embaçado. Desencanou do bombe A. Começou aí só no bombe B. Bombe B de bombe coberto pelo chat. De repentemente, né? Olha. Não, bot green, bot green. Olha. Liquid 8, Astralis 5. Não. Se bem que o 8 já tá bom, não tá? Se bem que o 8 já tá bom, não tá legal? O 8 já... não? Fazer 14 no mínimo de TR? Ué. Caiu o Green, mas já caiu o Bubis também. O Magisk tá de olho. Lembrando, é um round... Beleza, Magisk. Que beleza do Pri. A B é nossa, porra. A B é nossa. Só entrar, só entrar. Só entrar. É 9. Aqui é 9, cara. Aqui é 9. Aqui é 9, velho. Não, aqui é 9, velho. B de bomba plantada novamente. B de bagunça. B... Nó de... Pô, não tem nem mais elogios pra esse bombe, cara. Olha... B de 0%, né? De novo. B de 0%. B de Lucky. B de Alastro. B de Lindinho, né? B de Lindinho. Aí tá meio... Tá aí, né? Aí, complicado, cara. Complicada. A situação tá complicada, né? Situação complicada. Teco, taxadora. Acertou. Acertou, porém não matou, né? Tirou meio ponto ali do aluno. O Fallen... Não, não vai nada, não, cara. Pô, mas tá tão legal o Bomb B, não é? Tá tão legal o Bomb B. Pá, nós vai na. Não vai, não. Isso. Tá tão legal esse Bomb B, cara. Olha que gostosinho. Olha que gostosinho esse bombe. Ah, porra, que beleza. Bombe B Brasil. Olha que beleza. Porra, bombe B de maravilha. Nossa, bombe B de entregada. Bombe B de Astralis. Porra. Não, bombe B de bombe... Ah, Steve, calma, ó. Não, aí avacalha, hein? Aí avacalha. Bombe B de... Porra. Beleza, professor. Beleza, professor. Não, aí, ó. Aí, na cara dele ainda, hein, lixão? 10-5, um oferecimento do Bombe do Chat, o Bombe B, né? Que beleza, cara. Que beleza. Um salve pro FWB1, o Carequinha Terrorista, o Pect, o Ditone, o Aloha, o Zapa For Real. Que beleza. Que beleza, cara. Chegamos, hein? Olha. Beleza, velho. E bom água, né? Ah, afinal... Afinal é, teoricamente, 15h30. Teoricamente, né? Eu não sei se esse jogo se atrasar um pouquinho, se eles vão dar um tempinho, né? Mas eu acredito que seria correto os caras colocar aí pelo menos 1 horinha, né? De descanso, cara, tá ligado? Eu vou pedir um almocinho aqui, cara. Vocês querem alguma coisa? Sorvete? Sorvete não pode, a gente tá de dieta, cara. Chega de porpeta, Chega de bizonhice, cara. Já falamos sobre isso, né?
Manda um açaí, Gal.
Não, então, o açaí, só o açaí dá, né? Só o açaí. Por só o açaí eu posso até
Salve,
pedir.
Gal. Te amo.
Te amo, viu? Muito obrigado. Eu vou pedir aquele negocinho igual eu pedi ontem, velho. Lá.
Salve, Gal.
Salve!
2 meses de sub.
Muito obrigado pelos 2 meses. Não, tá piroca. Muito obrigado pelos 2 meses. E tamo junto. Muito obrigado, o Anime Elias, o BR Nigode, o Igor, o Júnior, o Jotinho, o Alan, o Léo, o Aloha, né? O Luiz, tamo junto, todo mundo, cara. Um gauletinho. Tamo chegando, né? Astralis 5, Liquid 10. Mano. Um pistolzinho. Se fizer o pistol é humilde, velho. Não avança não. Não avança não, cara. Não, velho. Avança sim. Tá na mão do professor. Falem. Tá na cara dele, professor. (3x2) ainda. Calma, 3x2, Lucky Bubs e Lucky. Lucky Bubs, toma, 3x1, come ele. Horroroso, cara. Horroroso. 11-5. Olha lá, ó o joelhinho. Ó o joelhinho. Olha o joelhinho. Chama ele de joelhinho. Olha o joelhinho. Olha o joelhinho. E compraram, hein? Velho. Uma espécie de tudo ou nada. Sem clima de festa, hein, no chat. Sem clima de festa, sem clima de oba-oba. Chegou o momento, se concentra aí pô, né, chamar os amigos, parentes, se concentra aí, né, em colocar a live na TV da sala, no celular do irmão, no videogame da irmã, se concentra aí na triboneira 100K, se concentra em coisas boas, né? Não se concentre em zicar. Sem clima de festa. Agora, se ganhar esse round, acabou. Se ganhar esse round, nem mais, nem menos. Se ganhar esse round, acabou. Não, se você acha que o que eu tô falando é zica, então torce pra perder o round, porque aí não acabou. Mas se ganhar esse round, aí acabou. Nossa, B não é bagunça não, porra. B é deles, hein? B é deles. C4 plantada. Tá lá. Guardar. Se organizar no próximo round. 11-6. Tem jogo. Cara, parecia, pô, na Fly. Pega a primeira kill. Os dois tá alinhadinho. Parece que vai dar tudo certo, cara. Velho. Aí o cara vira e dá tudo errado. tudo dando certo até que dá errado. E aí é jogo, né? Já que você, para aqueles aí, né? Estavam aí pesando na que da zica. Tá aí, ó. Zica não existe. É 11-6 e o jogo não acabou. Caramba, avançadão, hein? Bateu 3 jogadores ali pelo escuro, só o Fallen de scout no bombear. O jogo, na verdade, acabou de começar, né? Fallen, o professor Fallen versus o jovem aprendiz Lucky. Quem é melhor? Vai descobrir agora, ó. Vai descobrir agora. Esse é o duelo, ó. O jovem aprendiz versus o experiente professor. Nossa. Calma, 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 que é um duelo de vários, né? Ó. Opa! 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 Ficou elas por elas. Opa! Pressiona, deu Fallen, hein? 4x3. Ai! Opa, beleza. Calma, Steel. Que flecha é essa, camarada? Que humilhado. Que bela flash. 1x1. 1x1. Pô, o cara tá pegando. Porra. Vai saber, né? É um robô. O robô Cornor. Preparado para clutches. Uma máquina programada para clutches. Ele não erra, ele não falha, nunca errou. Obsoleto. Obsoleto, cara. Obsoleto, cara. Inacreditável. Nossa, cara. Vai pegar Eagle, vai pegar Eagle, cara. Obsoleto. Obsoleto, cara. Nossa senhora. Olha. Cara, eu começo a acreditar num mundo onde eu posso até zicar de leve, cara. Obsoleto, cara. Olha. Nunca tinha visto. Nunca tinha visto, cara. Que flash, né? Que flash, cara. Sem triboneira, sem K, né? Obsoleto, cara. Não, e que clutch do Stewie, né? Que clutch do Stewie. Não, isso daí eu vou falar, cara. Isso daí o XY, ele tá querendo derrubar alguém, velho. Ele tá querendo derrubar alguém. Ele não é de fazer essas coisas, cara. Ele tá querendo derrubar alguém. Eu acho que é o cara lá é o Joelhinho. Não vou falar mais nome, não. Ele tá querendo derrubar o Joelhinho. Não, né? Se ele ganha, e vai que a Astralis vira, e aí, não, né? Ele tá querendo derrubar o Joelhinho. Receba, viu? Bela kill. Fala ainda de scout. Humildemente ali, jogando scout. Mano, jogo frenético, não para. O round ainda, os caras têm. A Astralis sempre tem dinheiro. Parece que os caras têm mais dinheiro que nós. Tá lá, 2 AK. Ai, fotografou. Fotografou o meliante. E o meliante era o da C4. Bomba plantada. Fotografou também. Fotografou o backup. Velho. Oh, vai ser com emoção, cara. Toma, marreco! Toma, marreco! Pega a K dele, professor. Toma, marreco, também. Tá aí, calma. 12-7. Torcedores, calma. Ai, velho. Nossa, velho. Meu amigo. Tem arma, né? Um armamento moral aí da Liquid, cara. Dá pra... Mara Maravilha, Mara Maravilha, Mara Maravilha. Não te chamei até agora. Nem devia ter chamado. Ela... Tá, tem que... Beleza. Botou pra correr, hein? Obsoleta. Será, velho? Obsoleta. O Green quer lutear. O Green quer lutear essa cal. Beleza, Fallen. Beleza. Ó, 2x3. Fala dela. Fala dela. Calma. Calma. Ó o cano aí, Fallen. Ó o cano. Ó o cano. Acertou. Acertou. Ó, arma na mão. Arma na mão. Arma na mão. Arma na mão. 2 de HP o do Pri, cara. 2 de HP, tu vai guardar galhar, velho. No meio dessa treta toda, tu tá se correndo pra guardar a galhar, porra. Tem a AK do seu lado. Difícil, hein, mano. Pô, é proibido fazer eco. É proibido fazer eco. É proibido fazer eco. Daqui a pouco tá 12-12 e nós não fez um eco. E não jogou um armado. E adesivo é aquele na K do Magisk. Eu não sei, ele morreu. Agora eu não vou saber qual AK ele tava, né? Aqui já tá 12-10, né, senhores? Ó, Fallen é proibido jogar de AW, só tá jogando de scout. Mano, nossa, velho. A gente tá nessa falsa... Olha, os caras batendo uma bolinha. Os caras, o time em crise e os caras batendo essa bolinha, cara. Olha... Vamos lá, professor. Vamos lá, cara. Mano, não dá nem... Aqui acabou, aqui não acabou. Não dá nem pra saber se o CT da Liquid até o momento tá bom. Calma, a gente ainda não jogou de arma. Não dá pra saber se o nosso CT dá bom? Como é que vai dar pra saber se nós não jogou de arma ainda? Eu tenho um ponto, velho. Não dá pra saber, a gente não jogou de arma, cara. A gente ainda não pegou a arma, velho. Não jogou 4M4 e uma W, não jogou 5M4, não jogou AUG. A gente não jogou ainda já armado. Tá duro, é 12-10. A gente precisa de 3 pontinhos. 3 pontinhos pra levar pra prorroga. Humildemente, 3 pontinhos. Garante uma prorrogação. E se vier o 16º, tamo no jogo. Aí, ó. Agora, ó. Agora, abençoa. Agora. Agora abençoa. Agora abençoa, velho. Vara ele, professor. Vara ele. Tô mal. Tô passando mal, cara. Vara ele, professor. Aí, ó. Quando você escutar esse smoke. Ó. Ha! Eu tô falando, cara. Eu tô falando. Eu conheço. Eu conheço, cara. Tô falando. Que isso, velho? A mais, né? A mais. Olê! A mais, velho. Você falando. O time tá ruim. O time tá ruim. O time jogou sem arma, velho. Aí, ó. Porra. Vai plantar. E aí tá plantada. E ele é... Ó. Olha o fantasma aí do 1x5, hein? Olha o fantasma. Aí, beleza. 13-10. Aí. Cara... E que foi isso, né? Cara, eu acho que assim... Vamos falar da varada do Fallen. Porra, não é a varada em si, né? É a qualidade da varada, né? Porra, foi uma varada na cara, velho. Olha isso, ó. Ó, é na cara. É na cara. Ó lá, ó. Ó lá. Ó a reação. Ó lá, viu? Ó, acabou com o cara. Não é qualquer varada. O Steel é perito em fazer isso. É, o Steel 6K, lembra? Ah, não, Eligião. Não corta caminho, não, aí nessa jogada, Eligião. Não, não corta caminho nessa jogada, não. O Steel é perito nessa jogada aí. Calma, 3x3, não acabou nada em lugar nenhum. O Steel, ele gosta de segurar esse rush B assim, ele... Foi no Mineirinho, não foi? Que ele fez um 6K. Aí eu tava lá, eu tava. Ele matou os 5 do outro time e ele mesmo. Mano, round tenso aqui, hein? Round tenso. Vamos ó, pra passar fundo, eles têm uma smoke. Eles vão ter que smocar. Eles não vão passar na mira. Eles não vão passar na mira. E é uma smoke. Isso é bom. Isso tá legal. Isso tá legal. O Fallen tá mirando. Ó, smocada. Nossa, ficou gostosinho isso aí, hein? Ó, ó, ó. Ficou gostosinho isso aí, hein? Ah, 12 de HP, velho. Nossa, na fly girou pro fundo. Quem joga primeiro? Ai. Tá. O cara acha que é os dois varanda? Ó, não. Beleza, errou o tiro, Lucky. Nossa, ó. Ai, 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 não dá mais tempo. Não dá mais tempo na fly. Você demorou demais. Ah, velho. Meu Deus. Pega a W aí, pelo menos. Ai, comemoramos cedo demais. Cedo demais. Machis que salvou, 13-11. Olha aí. Cedo demais, cedo demais. Tururu. Tenso. Clima tenso, rapaziada. Que clima tenso. Pico de 13. Astralis 11. Temos dinheiro. Os caras também tem. Round do jogo. Ah, não, Lucky. Ô, Green, vamos nos ajudar aí, Green. Vamos nos ajudar, velho. Cara, também tanto faz quanto tanto fez, né, velho? Vamos, porra, se tinha que morrer um, que morra o Green no começo do round, vamos ser sinceros, mudou porra nenhuma, né? Porra, olha por esse lado otimista. Porra, presente, né? Porra. Agora fudeu. Agora fudeu. Aí é 13-12. Aí é todo drama. Todo drama. Agora é 13-12. O drama. Mano, por que, velho? Por que que, tipo, não tem, velho? Inimigos da alegria, né? Por que que não existe um mundo que a gente, pô, ganha os rounds, acaba e a gente, pô, passa pra final, classifica e é feliz, velho? Ah, 2 armas. Ô, vamos, vocês falaram outro dia, né? Eu pensei no assunto, velho. Vamos voltar com as latadas, né? Tem as latas, velho. Tem as latas, as latinhas aí da Twitch. Vamos dar latada, velho, né? Latada aí educadamente, velho. Tentar latar aí os caras, velho, né? Um round aí, tentar trazer. A gente precisa tentar. A Mara não veio. Tentar as latadas aí, velho, né? Esse round é difícil. Tem 2 armas, velho. É tentar latar, velho. A gente precisa de 2 rounds. Eu não quero 16, eu quero o 15. Bora ajudar o professor aí, latar alguém aí dos caras, velho. Olha. Vai, latada. Latada no Lucky. Latada no Luke. Latada no Luke. Ai, ai, ai. Toma. Tá. Nossa, ficou num lugar que não dá pra pegar, professor. Mas fez a dele, né? Fez a dele. Não, calma. Segura. Segura. 4x4. Agora já tá bom pra atacar, hein? 4x4, 26º round. A Liquid ainda na frente. Ainda na frente. Mas pode perder a vantagem a qualquer momento. Ué, pegou? Você pegou a info, você não viu mais ninguém. Ó, 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 ó. Você tá escutando. Você tá escutando. Não, você foi blocado, Stewie. Era o cara da C4. Ele foi plantar escondido. MT, né? Ai, calma, velho. Nossa, velho. Olha. Inacreditável, velho. Nossa, inacreditável, velho. 24/12, 13-13, tudo igual. Luke jogando o fino, o fino, o fino. O fino do CS Global. Beleza, calma. Tentativa do piquezinho, calma. 5x5. Temos do AW. Steve puxou AW, Falenzão também puxou AW. Tá faltando aquele pique do professor, velho. Tá faltando aquele pique do professor. Não vai ter o pique do professor também esse round, que tiraram o professor do pique do professor, né? Calma. 2 rounds separa a gente da prorrogação. 3 rounds da vitória. 2 rounds separam eles da prorrogação, 3 da vitória. Tá. Tá nada. Ah, é deles, velho. Ah, é deles. Esse pai é bom até guardar. C4 já tá, vai vir plantar. Ué. E essa rolada de C4 aí, hein? Nossa, pegou. Guardou. 14-13. Mano. Estamos vendo a história se repetindo. 14-13. Mano, vamos acreditar, cara. Vamos acreditar aqui. Aqui, o que a gente vai fazer? O que a gente vai fazer? Em Cuiabá acabou. Em Londrina acabou. Em Floripa também acabou. É acreditar, velho. Os caras tá com muito dinheiro. Estão indo caçar. A gente tá com pouco dinheiro. Se perder essas armas, ripou mais ainda. Nossa. Nossa, cara. Olha o joelhinho, cara. Olha o joelhinho. Olha o joelhinho, cara. E aí, force esse round? É partida pausada. Ó. Ó. Joaçaba. Joaçaba acabou de acabar. Cara, aí é meia compra, sabia, velho? Meia compra. Caramba, velho. A gente não conseguiu fazer nada de CT, cara. Nada de CT, velho. E lá estamos nós. Mais uma vez na repescagem. Venha compra. Se for pra ser, será, velho. Se for pra ser, será, velho. Se você tem fé, é o momento de depositar o Fzão maiúsculo aí no chat de fé. Que esse é o round, velho. Tem que ser maiúsculo aqui. A fé tem que ser, não pode ser uma fé pequena não, cara. Tá na lata dele. Ó, M4 tá ali, pra rampa. Ó, Scout caiu, tá aqui, ó. Tem Scout com Fallen. T4 pra varanda. Os caras ainda por muito tempo, os caras ainda podem tirar. Os caras ainda podem tirar pra tudo que é lado. Direita, esquerda. Direita, esquerda. B. A. Vamos pra B. Vamos pra B. Tá lá só o Elijão. Digo. Situação dura. Olha lá. Vai ser pego de costas. De lado. Toma. Opa. Era fake. Era fake. Era fake. Ai. Ai, professor. Ah, na Fly. Você não é. Ah, na Fly. Existia um mundo, cara. Porra, esse round existia um mundo. Concorda comigo, velho? Existia um mundo, cara. (15-13), a gente vai precisar fazer 2 rounds na sequência que a gente não conseguiu fazer o CT inteiro. Tudo que a gente não conseguiu fazer do lado do CT inteiro foi 2 rounds na sequência. A gente vai precisar fazer agora. Impossível. Impossível. Se a gente fizer 2 rounds na sequência, eu dropo 100 subs. Impossível, cara. Jogo, né, velho? Jogo, velho. Jogando como nunca, né? Jogando como nunca, cara. Embrasou. Embrasou. Acabou de embrasar, ou seja, 5 rounds seguidos. Tava 13-10 pro time da Liquid. Ó, temos bastante arma, cara. Temos bastante arma. Porra, se morrer aí é humilde, hein? Ai. Estamos em choque. Oficialmente em choque, velho. O cara passa muito rápido, velho. Pô, você viu o reflexo do Fallen tá em dia. O cara passa ali muito rápido, velho. Parece que nem, pô, um caranguejo do mato, cara. Beleza, calma. Aí. Deu merda. Deu muita merda. Ah, é o Green ainda, cara. Green. A Astralis está classificada. Parece brincadeira, né, velho? A Astralis em crise está classificada para a Blast Final na Dinamarca em LAN, velho. Inacreditável. Inacreditável, velho. 16-13, velho. Nossa senhora. Saída de estádio aí, vou liberar as mensagens. A final é agora já, né? Daqui a pouquinho. Vou pagar. A Astralis era 23% só das apostas. Estão ricas, velho. A Astralis e Vitality, vou abrir. A Liquid vai para repescagem, né? Junto com a EG. Para quem tava aí pela Liquid, aí pelo Brasil, muito obrigado, né? Lembrando que hoje é sabadão. Amanhã a gente tem 00 Nation, 11 da manhã, Fúria às 14 horas, né? Pelo Malta Vibes. E segunda-feira a gente tem aí MIBR contra G2 em campo. Começa o grupo B da Blast segunda-feira, velho. Olha... Não, feliz pelo terceiro mapa. Cara, é duro, velho. É duro, cara.
Freimani, Gal, eu gosto muito de viver. Fala que eu não tenho MT tempo de vida. Pra mim testar um negócio. Mama.
Salve Gal. Explica pra gente o que aconteceu com a WCG e isso. Por que não existem mais? G, 3, X, X, X. Manda salve pra Aparelhas, Rio Grande do Norte.
Salve Gal. Ele não sabe o que diz. Não sabia do poder da maldição.
Pô Gal, fala pro Fallen sair da City Me lixo, e montar uma panela com os BR. Não aguento mais sofrer com BR, e agora sofro com os gringos também. Boa tarde Gal Gal, que bad. Queria muito o professor classificado e ver um jogo entre a Astralis e a Astralis brasileira no showdown. Pode ver os pontos do RMR e os campeonatos. Salve Sorocaba. Força Liquid. Um dia você perde. No outro você não ganha. F.
Salve Gal, um ano de sub mas acompanhando desde 2018, TMJJ, manda salve pra rapaziada do La Quartixa. É Gal, o Green jogou o que sabe, 3 meses te dando já. Salve Gal 23 meses assistindo o maior dos maiores, o único obsoleto zicador de todos menor que 3 TMJG? 3? Zica.
Against us, but today I expect us to go to 3 maps and then we'll see how it goes.
Let's see how it goes. Magic's going to go let you get on and get yourself a little bit of rest before you go into that game, and best of luck facing off against Vitality.
Thank you very much.
And what a way for Lucky to be getting that experience by earning a spot on LAN at the Royal Arena, no less, in front of a home crowd as well. Like, it just keeps getting better and better when you look at this result for Astralis.
Yeah, it's really not too bad if you're Lucky. And as James pointed out rightfully to Magisk, it's about a reaction for Lucky. It's about a reaction from a series where he disappointed. Obviously, he heard from the community, and please, in the way you talk to players, don't be a dick. You know, let's put it out there. Don't be a mean person to any players. But he did get a lot of criticism, and the fact that he's able to bounce back and have that series where he's the best rated player, he's got that impact at the very end in all the rounds that matter. The higher the pressure, the more he hits the shot. This is already a very important line that he is writing in his book.
Such a huge bounce back for Lucky, but with that we do need to take a quick update of our bracket, as we of course still have one more match remaining for you guys tonight. It's a bit of an Astralis doubleheader coming into things, as this is going to be the next matchup determining the top seed going through from Group A. And Maui, that is incredible important when we're going towards the 4 finals, because that might give you an edge coming into your first matchup of the tournament.
Of course, yeah. Having the best seeding into the fall finals is going to make things easier, but also on the line is the fact that Vitality can acquire quite a few blast points right now for the circuit. Ooh. And maybe give themselves a very favorable standing going into the world finals coming up after the fall finals. So there's a lot on the line for Vitality here, even though it does feel like it's a bit of a seeding game. that's not actually the case. The fact that the World Finals is at stake too means that Vitality has a lot to play for here. And Astralis too, they're not too far behind getting into those top 3 slots in order to try to secure themselves a slot.
Yeah, there is so much on the line coming into this final game of the day and the final game of Group A. It's going to be a bit of a rematch of Astralis versus Vitality, and it's going to be coming to you very shortly after this break.
I believe I have an unpopular opinion.
I think that Counter-Strike games are too long. I don't know. I like the Krieg meta.
You see the map pool? All the 7 maps? It's gone.
I think definitely the most unpopular opinion I have is Vertigo is a good map.
I think that Vertigo is a pretty good map. I think that you have pretty good reason to go B sometimes. I think it's nice because CTs can both retake, but they can also play offensive, and there's more and more new ways to play Vertigo on the CT side, but also on the T side.
I think the hate against Vertigo is not really... I don't agree with it. I think maps like Mirage and Dust 2 should actually be getting more of the hate, in my opinion.
It's a map where there are a lot like hidden gems undiscovered yet, and there's like so much potential for it.
I like Vertigo, and I would love to see like Valve changing map pool like in 1 year. Every 1 year they change like 2 maps, because sometimes you get boring to watch all the maps over and over again.
The model skins, you know, that they introduced to the game, I really don't like them. I don't think they added anything to the game, and I think we've heard from a lot of people who are colorblind, for example, that they actually have a hard time seeing these model skins when they're playing, which I think is like super broken, to be honest. I think it should be equal and fair for everyone, so I think there actually should be a command to like disable them, you know.
I believe I have an unpopular opinion because I would love, for example, to have really something new. Of course, the best will be a new CS if it can come, but if not, we can still do something with CSGO. But I would, for example, love to, like Valve is coming, saying, you see the map pool, all the 7 maps, it's gone. And you just take 7 new maps that no one know, never practice, never see, never play, whatever, like totally new, and like go on, have fun.
I think that Counter-Strike games are too long. It's kind of impossible to be playing at the very top of your game for 6 or 7 hours straight. I don't think there's any sport in the world that is that crazy. I think that there should be some type of change that makes the game shorter. Whatever that's MR12, which I think is the most obvious.
It's too much for like normal viewers, you know, because changing the game for like MR12, they're like doing less rounds. I don't know. It's viable, but it's gonna change the whole tournament system. So I don't know. I think just capping for PO3 is good enough.
So one thing that I want to bring back into CSGO is the map, the Tuscan. I think we need a bit of more introduction for new maps into the map pool, and I think Tuscan would be a perfect fit. And I'm not sure which map should go out, but of course, because we don't play Mirage, I would like to see that one go out. But I actually don't think Mirage is a bad map. I think it's pretty fun to play also.
If I could bring back one CSGO update, I think I'd definitely bring back the Revolver. Not because it's good, just because I think it would be funny. Just people running around with revolvers, one-shotting people, I don't know.
Running one-shot everyone all the time in the body. Worse than the Deagle.
A lot of PTs are probably going to bring back the M4A1 before the nerf. I mean, I think it was viable the way it was, and the game was like, I mean, a little bit more sided, but I think that's okay.
I don't know. I like the Krieg meta, so I think they should buff Krieg a little bit, because the gun now is completely garbage. So it's not bring back the old one, because the old one was OP, but
spoof a little bit so you can make it usable, you know.
Always when they do a major change to the game, usually people are really opposed to it in the beginning, you know? Like, for example, when they switch the gun sounds.
Didn't like the new sound of the game. I prefer how it was back, I don't remember when it was, but at least 5 or 6 years ago, when sometimes I lost myself on YouTube and I see some matches that happened into 2013, 2014. The sound of the AK-47, I miss it.
And then when you go back now on YouTube, for example, and you listen to the old gun sounds, you can't believe that they actually sounded like that. Like the current version is so much better, right?
But yeah, maybe it's not nostalgia as well. Who knows?
And I think it was the same when they did like the footsteps update.
It's less natural. You have to think about, okay, I heard something, where it exactly come from. Where in the past you didn't have this, it was really easy to directly know where the sound came from.
I prefer the Cobalt Skulls. I prefer the blue kit.
I will go for King Snake.
I think I'd go with the King Snake.
Marble Fade.
Marble Fade is always, I like the mix of colors.
Marble Fade Specialist Gloves is my favorite here.
Gloves. Ooh, okay. Look, I think the King Snakes are incredibly popular. Cobalt Skulls represent the hand wraps.
So out of these three, my favorite is probably the hand wraps, but I'm super weird, like, because I change my settings a lot, so if I play like black bars or stretched, I have to have a certain glove. Hand wraps would probably be my favorite.
It's a tough one, but I think I will go with the Specialist Gloves and Marble Fade. Why? Don't ask me why. I just like the colors. Here comes the thing, right? White gloves, they're gonna get dirty. Cobalt Skulls doesn't really feel like gloves at this point. Your hands will get dirty.
Specialist gloves, Marble Fade for sure. Even though like those driver gloves, King Snake are nice as well. I haven't seen them before. But yeah, the Marble Fade is good, just because I like fade colors.
I'm sure for 100% it's hand wraps, Cobalt Skulls. But I think like for me, these three skins of gloves are really cool. But I will prefer Cobalt Skulls because it's really blue, bright color.
The Specialist Gloves Marble Fade, and I've used them before, and they look really nice in game. I think I had those gloves, and then I had a crown with Marble Fade, which is just like very nice combo.
I actually don't use gloves at all, but between these three, I think the driver gloves, King Snake, look the best. Nice leather, snake skin looking gloves.
I prefer Specialist Gloves, Marble Fade, because it reminds me Gambit colors, you know, blue and red, and I like a bit cold. It looks sick, but if I'll take all three.
I know this is not going to be the popular vote, but I'm going to defend my choice nonetheless. I'm going with the Marble Fades on this one, simply because the Marble Fades have the best interiors of all of the gloves. That's right, it's not always about the back, sometimes it's about the palms of your hands. When you're inspecting your weapons, when you're pulling out your knife and you see that highlighter orange, bro, that's all you need.
For me personally, the gloves are too thick around the fingers. Prefer to have hand wraps so I see the fingers for some fixed points or whatever, you know, in the game. But I think the Specialist Gloves, Marble Fade, they look nice. They are good ones. King Snakes are also nice. Look good, look nice and clean. I go for the Marble Fade.
I always look at them as the comeback kings. You can never count them out, no matter how bad it looks.
We have a tendency to forget how much it means to the players. The money is one thing, but the trophies and winning tournaments with this caliber is just what the players play for.
I think we're writing the first chapter of a long book.
I think there is a lot of pressure on me as a coach because we have been winning a lot the past couple of years. And it's extremely tough to be number one.
As far as I'm concerned, it's not even about winning, it's about making a statement. It's about showing to everyone that you are still dangerous.
It's just ASTRALIS way of playing Counter-Strike.
what inspired me to become a coach in Counter-Strike was that I finally faced that I couldn't continue playing myself because I was simply too bad. On a serious note, I think it was my love of the game actually. I've always been this secondary caller when I was playing. Sometimes I tried in-game leading as well, but I always had this love for playing beautiful Counter-Strike the right way, playing the percentages, good utility. I think that's the most beautiful part of the game. I'm not a particular fan of let's say csgo killing 5 people with a P250, but for me, beautiful Counter-Strike is a high level of team play, flashing for each other, and good Molotovs. I think that's what for me is what Counter-Strike is all about. It's about that team play, and I think it's the right way to be played. I think I do a lot of things as a coach. It's a role that has a lot of job titles. Obviously, there are the whole strategic side of things. I need to make sure that our playbook is strong and that we have a lot of things that we can turn to if things are not working out in matches. I prepare against our opponents. I look at our matches afterwards. I theory craft. I look at some new nades that we can throw, or look at some of our opponents to see what are they doing that works so well. And then obviously also assisting Glaive in calling some of the practice matches so that he can focus on his individual play. My job, or our job, is definitely prior to the game to make sure that the team is ready for the tournament, that we have been practicing everything right, that there's no holes in our playbook. And then obviously we come up with some calls here and there during a live game that we feel okay. It could be a mental call, like if people are frustrated or things are not going right, or for me it can be like, okay, and sometimes keep track on how many times we attack this bomb site and what can we expect them to, what are they expecting from us now, and then I come with that input.
Being aggressive and fighting with the advantage, that's a good sign.
I think there is a lot of pressure on me as a coach because we have been winning a lot the past couple of years. I think there's a pressure from the community. Obviously they expect a lot from us, and they should, especially our fans, and we try to work as hard as we always do, and it's obviously getting tougher by the year, not because we're not working as hard as we did before, and it's extremely tough to be number one, because that's where all the eyes shifts from ASTRALIS to Vitality, for example, when they were number one, and then everybody's looking at, okay, what do they do? And it becomes extremely difficult sometimes in matches because you know that some of these players have studied the whole playbook, basically. So you have to come up with new stuff, and then obviously also the mental side of things. When you are used to winning a lot of tournaments and a lot of trophies, it becomes difficult when you have these hard times, difficult times where you lose a couple of tournaments. When we win tournaments and we started losing, people will get frustrated a lot easier, and I think that's what we have been working on. I think the pressure is quite huge on me, but definitely also on the players. And I think the hardest part of being a coach is, I think it is the pressure, to be honest, the pressure that you put on yourself. You want to be the best version of yourself, and you want to win tournaments. And for me, I invest a lot of time into this, and I have a family as well, so it kind of has to pay off in some way. And then also looking at our players individually. Are they struggling with something? Are there some areas where I think that they can grow it and become even better players? On any teams, players get tired of each other at some point, and then they start arguing, and you also have to be this father figure, and in that way, because it is young guys who turn professional athletes in a very short span of time. So you have to have social skills. You have to know your players and to understand them, and not be stubborn yourself. And I have to see us move. And if the players were not working as hard as me, I would definitely not have been continue working with them, because I need to feel that we are in this together, and we are part of a project. Yeah, I remember our first goal was to be our first goal was to be number one team in the world, and then afterwards it was to be like named the best team of all time. But when we look at some statistics showing how long we've been the number one team compared to some of the other teams, it looks like we are getting there towards that dream. And it's just, what do you tell the players next? 2,000 utility damage per player in one map. I don't know. It's quite difficult. And we have never been a fan of making specific goals. I think that's a mistake when a team does that. Yeah, it can only be disappointing when you don't. To keep finding that golden land, you could say, that I can present to the players, and that if we do this, we're gonna win this, because they have pretty much tried everything that you can win in Counter-Strike. So I just wanted to showcase that it's actually quite difficult staying on top.
Oh my freaking god. Just wait.
So ominous, the music.
No, no, no.
Kick up.
Holy sh! Almost died.
Oh, what the? Ah! What the? Oh my god, no, no!
Oh! Oh, I lost.
This is I like how I'm the first one to just immediately think, like, how can I with everybody else? This is way too intense. No!
No, 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 no. No! What?
No! No! No!
Oh my god, there's gravity on? What? What?
I've never surfed ever in my life. I'm past like the first actually surfing. I made it so far.
Oh my god, no way.
It's the beat you, Launders.
Don't get nervous.
Okay. No. How's that possible? I think I broke the map.
The map broke you. Did you stop on the ramp?
I'm like wedged into the ramp. And I cannot move, I think.
No!
I can smell you. No!
Right.
Oh.
Remember to keep yourself composed when in clutches. No!
Oh god, I made it past the next level. I'm a wait. Oh, I had to go that way.
Oh my god.
What if this is how I get hooked on surfing and Blast is responsible for it?
I hope so, dude. Surfing's legit.
Dude, what? Dude, what is this? I'm kidding. Alright, boys, I hope I finish soon.
No! I love Blast. I love Betway. But screw you guys for making a downwards tunnel.
Oh my god, oh my god, I again.
Let's go!
Yes, baby! Yeah, baby! Like, I cannot... What the going on here?
Goodbye.
No, Mohan, no!
Oh no. Not good.
No, don't do it to me, dude. No, don't do it. Oh, you back. No. Oh, and I fell all the way. No.
Oh no.
I'm stuck, man.
No.
No, no, no.
He can't see us through the wall with command.
Damn.
Who is it now? Oh no! Yo, get him! No, no, no! It didn't activate yet.
I got you.
Never be all played. Yeah.
I'ma get you. Come here.
Oh.
Oh. See ya. Oh no! Why is this a dead end?
I have to take you again.
Oh, so much faster. Oh, nice try.
Ah!
Oh no! It didn't register, dude. Doesn't count. Doesn't count.
All that confidence they build up, it helps them just moving on from a disappointing map to the next, and that is huge for Vitality.
Apex going to be taking down Bubsky, just ready. Oh, and a nice jump off Apex, playing this so well, and he's going to take down Sip as well. What a god.
Astralis right now, they are pressured to the brink. It's a new, let's say, new version of Astralis that we have to accept that is not the same as the old one.
18 seconds. Sip just can't even slow down. He's going to be running right through, trying to pick up the bomb. He's going to get one kill. Oh, what a clutch.
It's a battle for group supremacy to round off the day's action. Both of these teams have earned a spot on LAN at the full finals, but now it is a battle for top seed and, of course, those all-important points for our world leaderboard. And what makes this even more spicy, Maniac, this is a bit of a rematch from earlier on in the group, and this is a team Vitality took down to be claiming their stake at the Royal Arena.
Yeah, and it's interesting to hear both parties actually not necessarily satisfied with what happened, right? It started off with Apex saying, we didn't play a good game. Like, we won against Astralis the first time around, but that was not a good game. I'm not happy about what we did. That was ugly on our CT side. So for them, they have an opportunity to, make a statement that they should have won easier. And for Magis, as we just heard, he thinks they should have been a third map. Well, you have your opportunity right now. You have your stage, time to play.
Yeah, this is a proving ground for them. And this isn't your normal seeding match coming into this group as well, because of course we have the World Finals coming up later on this year. And there is a leaderboard. This is where the teams are going to be earning their spot there at the World Finals. I know you had a little bit of information for this leaderboard going forward for this match.
Right. There's still a few events, of course, ahead of this one that can impact the possibilities there. But this is 800 points on the line, and that can actually get Astralis to leapfrog over Vitality if they're able to take this one. So that's a big possibility. So yeah, this is of course, if Astralis win, we would see that Astralis would be actually in the top 3. There's potential that they would qualify. There's still some teams to play in groups B and C, of course, and there's another event or two, but this would actually put Astralis in a pretty commanding lead over Vitality, because that's a significant amount of points, because, you know, in tournaments, usually a higher position would be 200 more points here, 200 more points there, so that gives Astralis some breathing room. And now you see if Vitality wins, they're very comfortably ahead of Astralis. There's a couple outcomes in the future that Astralis could bring it back, but that's a really great look for Vitality. And you know, of course, every team, they want to get to the World Final. There's so much at stake at that tournament there, and that's just one of the things that these teams are playing for, beyond the fact that they're seeding at the Fall Finals too.
Yeah, of course, it's incredibly important to be getting those points on the leaderboard for both of these teams going forward. But we do want to recap a little bit onto the match we saw going on beforehand here in Group A, as we were prefacing, obviously, Vitality making sure they got that spot at the Royal Arena by taking down the Danes, pushing them down into that matchup we just saw versus Liquid. So I kind of want to get your idea of the takeaways that you had from that one, Maniac, seeing Vitality taking that into, even though it came very close on that second map.
Yeah, it did come close, honestly, and Vitality had to sweat, you know, tears and blood to actually make it past Astralis. It started with an overpass that was, I'd say, quite dominant. They had a very good T side, and that was truly and poorly the name of the game for either teams. The T side was where the difference was made. If you're Vitality, obviously you had this immense comeback on the T side of Nuke, and even on overpass they were able to dictate the pace. So the problem for Astralis, and here I guess the maps are going to be a bit different than against Liquid, is that you're being tested in the depth of your pool. And at that game, definitely Vitality is a step ahead. The third map is more often than not going to be in Vitality's favor, but Astralis didn't even make it to that third map the first time around. They missed the mark on Nuke.
Yeah, and that maybe leaves us with some questions for the map picks and bans coming into this one. Would you be daring to see Astralis putting that Nuke back in there again, considering we saw Vitality have such a dominant T side on that?
I think so, and I also think that Vitality would welcome that rematch, because one of the best sound bites we've gotten at this entire event so far is Apex saying that Kyojin was bad on Nuke, and if they get to try again, that's just more practice, because right now, you know, there's stuff at stake here, but this is a match where maybe they can try something new, try a couple more plays to be proactive with Kyojin, so he's not just sitting like a duck on the bomb site. You know, you want him to maybe try pushing towards hut, maybe try pushing towards door. You know, there's a couple of things that they could implement here to try to strengthen that pool. We see that Astralis does have a strong pool themselves, but yeah, this is you know, the Nuke CT side is probably one of the weakest halves, beyond the fact that their Dust 2 is not looking too great either.
Look at that 0%. Look at that 0% Dust 2. I already made that point in the first veto between these two teams. I said Astralis might have a Joker card on Dust 2. They have just beaten Liquid on it, and I'm going to go back at it again. I think Dust 2 could be a great punish. It is not a map that Vitality have shown a lot of proficiency on, but I agree with Maui, and it is one way that we have to shed light on this matchup, right? There are not a lot of negative consequences from losing it, which is not to say it's going to be any boring, it's to say there's going to be risks being taken. Yes. And this is what I want to see. This is the perfect stage to take risks. Why not do it a little bit with the map? Why not just step outside of your comfort zone just a little bit? Try something. You might surprise yourself.
Yeah, I think we should bring the map picks and bans up a little bit earlier than we normally do.
Cool.
I think it's going to tell a bit of a tale for this best of 3 matchup coming into things. So are you siding with the fact that Astralis should be picking that Dust 2, as you said before, when we're in this very position?
I would like that. I would like Astralis to go for Dust 2, honestly. Not only because I think it's a good punish, but also because I think that this game versus Liquid was so crazy. It's not like they have built an immense amount of security and confidence on it. There's still a lot of grounds to be proven. We saw that B defense with Magisk as well being very much in trouble. So now we're going to have their ban. Personally, I think Dust 2 is for the taking, or they say we want to play Nuke again.
I think those are the likely options here for Astralis. They will go for the Nuke.
Okay,
they just want to play that one back there. They want to run it back. They want to probably improve on their CT side too. That's the thing. So both of these teams have something where they can improve on. And for the pick of Vitality, I really wouldn't love for them to just go for Overpass, because we know they're a good Overpass team. You know, in a seeding game like this is where you try something new. So maybe go for something that
Vertigo, Inferno.
Yeah, I would love Vertigo. I would love Vertigo. Okay, there we go. It's something that...
Why'd you get what you want? I don't get what I want. What's going on?
Today, I mean, you got the first prediction right. So
that's because I deserve it.
Right.
Okay. I don't know what you guys
You worked for that W, Maniac.
I really worked hard for that one.
And for the decider, I think Inferno is a very fair map for both these teams right now. We already got the Overpass ban out of Astralis. So there's a possibility that Vitality want to work on their Dust 2. If Vitality ban to Dust 2 here. They are just trying to practice.
That's a
things.
training ground.
That would be actually pretty cool.
Oh,
They do it. They do
That's
it.
what
They're
we're
just trying to
talking about.
practice. All right. So Vitality should be going for, yeah, like you said, a
And
lot of risks.
It's like the best practicing condition because obviously there is a lot at stake.
Yes.
So it's not like it's going to be a practice at all, but you have that little bit of leeway. You have that safety net. Even if things were really to hit the fan, it's not that damaging. So you can take that risk. You have that mini safety net, and that's why I like it. I like that Dust to Guardian.
Yeah, maybe we should start talking about Nuke a little bit more, as it is one of the maps that we did see in that previous match in Vitality versus Astralis, and you were kind of saying you want to see more from the Astralis CT side. What specifically kind of disappointed you last time about them?
Well, both of the CT sides actually left something to be desired, and I would say that on Astralis' CT side, to answer your question, Freya, I just need a little bit more from Lucky. He didn't have a necessarily bad game. I think he still went positive on the CT side of the map, but in crucial rounds down the stretch, he was getting picked consistently. There were 3 rounds in a row where he just gave up these picks to Vitality, to their game plan, and those are moments that I want to see him play again. I want to see him try those situations out, see if he can hit the shot this time, or maybe position himself a little bit differently. This is a point where Lucky has already had a great bounce back series. Let's see if he can do another.
And I mean, that is a little bit of a question to be posing to Lucky specifically. The stamina that you need to go from one best of 3 that was an absolute marathon straight into another in this double header kind of situation. We've been impressed with what he delivered to be pulling it over the line for Astralis versus Liquid, but can he do it again here versus Vitality?
It's going to be a huge exercise in terms of stamina. You're right, Freya. Also because compared to maybe some of his more, let's say, veteran teammates, the amount of mental energy that Lucky has to use to withstand all that pressure and all these very high pressure moments, it's a lot more than, say, Zip, Dupe, Magisk. You know, they're a bit more used to it, so they don't have to put that same kind of energy. For him, he's like burning the night all 200% all the time. So he's got the energy. He's quite young as well, but I agree with you. It's going to be quite an exercise.
Well, the pressure is certainly on for both of these teams coming into things, and luckily we do have some words from Apex coming into this game.
I also wanted to talk about the situation with Shox and ZywOo and how the AWP role is working, because sometimes, not only just on Inferno now, we're seeing Shox pick it up some more. So what's the reason for that?
Well, no, I don't think on the other map. Only on Inferno is playing it. Maybe sometime in City side, because it's mainly because I still want to play rifle. So most of the time, yeah, Shoxy picking up, but that's it. It's just because Zywoo wants to play rifle. If Zywoo wants the AWP, it's the main AWPer anyway.
Yes, yeah, that makes sense. And we've also actually seen with that on some of the T sides, though, that ZywOo's been going for the entry with a rifle. Yet normally we don't really see a star player be on the entry with it sometimes. So
he's not an entry. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
An entry.
Okay,
no,
so
it's not an entry. That's not true. He's just like on Inferno controlling banana, but he's not entering. He's just controlling. We had the same back in the days with Astralis.
Yeah.
I was Device doing banana control, and it's just because we did banana control in the APK for like 2.5 years, and we tried with Kyojin, and it didn't work out. So we felt that putting ZywOo in this position would be really good because it's a lot of feelings on that position. So it's not like about entering, it's just about map control. And look at his statistic on Inferno. I think it's his best map right now.
I do want to continue the conversation about ZywOo coming into this series, because so far in the full groups, we haven't really needed to see that kind of ZywOo gold tier level of performance, because we have seen the individuals from Vitality stepping up.
That's true. We don't necessarily need it, but he still gives it to us.
That is so mean.
He still has the best rating at the event.
He's the highest rated of the event. That is the state of the affair. Like, we're just sitting here. You know what? We haven't really seen the real ZywOo right now, but he's still at 132 and he's like leaps and bounds ahead of everyone. That is the quality of a superstar with the capital S. It's ZywOo. It's simple. These are the 2 best players in the world, and that is it. The fact is, and I think the entire Counter-Strike universe has the belief and the confidence that when he really needs to, then he will step up. He'll have that double kill. He'll have that clutch. He'll bring you that round back that looks so hard, because he's one of these extraordinary individuals who can do it.
Yeah, and somebody we've been kind of branding as that secondary star of the team is one of the young guns in Masuta, and he really had such a lights out performance versus Astralis the first time around that we saw him, and really important coming into that match of Nuke.
He is, and rather than just talking about Masuta, what I would like to focus our attention on is how the development of Masuta could be a great blueprint for Kyojin. And this is why I think it's so interesting, because obviously there's a lot that the individual himself has to do in order to improve. It's not only about the staff and the teammates, but what they have been able to do with him, the way they have mentored him and gave him the space and gave him the confidence and the responsibility. Now they can use that, they can use these steps for Kyojin. And if he has the same quality, the same talent, the same investment, he could do it.
Well, the individuals certainly are going to have to step up on both sides of the equation, as the crown of Group A is on the line, alongside a hell of a lot of points going towards the World Finals. It's going to be Nuke as our first destination, and it's coming up with Scrawny and Launders in just a few.
ladies and gentlemen.
Copenhagen! Let me hear you! Are you guys here? Are you ready to watch some Counter-Strike?
They're right in front, defusing the bomb. The smoke. Taking two and falling back.
What a match between these teams.
Nami, finish like this? You are kidding me.
It's loud. It's insane.
I can feel that vibration through the walls, through the floor, through my heart, to the core.
Dude, the atmosphere is crazy. Are you ready to get this show on the road?
And so Group 1 set to conclude here at the Blast Fall Groups. We've got Vitality and Astralis back in the server. Long day for Astralis, but there's still a job to get done. And the Betway odds currently favoring Vitality, who have been waiting for their opponent patiently and are very excited to get this one underway, man. I can see them in the all chat. Everybody's ready, Launders. I didn't expect these two teams. I kind of thought Liquid would take that edge, but god damn that lucky map 3.
You're hiding the pain really well. It was hard to watch. That was a really tough one. It was still exciting, and you know, Astralis earned it every bit. And if it wasn't for that, you know, I wouldn't be excited to see them play against Vitality because I think they'd be the stark favorite. But because of how much grit Astralis showed, you know, despite not having arguably the two most important players of all time, you know, Device and Glaive, these guys are driving home, you know, best IGL of all time, potentially most impactful Opera of all time in some ways, and they still were able to take down a very strong Liquid. I mean, as much as Liquid are kind of the butt of joke sometimes these days, they were actually looking really good. And oh my God, Shock's showing them brand new form.
Is that what he's bringing to the table this evening?
Yeah.
How long do you think he's been waiting for that one tap? Misses the second, hits the third. And Masuda also gets Bubsky down. So 5 versus 2, Team Vitality looking very clean as Astralis tried to work their way down to the B site. So a 2v5 attempt. Bit of a ramp peek. Lucky trying to piece together where exactly this is coming in from, whether the retake has to happen or, in this case, Vitality just forced the issue, swing out with them dual Berettas, and go ahead to take that pistol.
We got Apex in a new room?
Looks like it.
Yeah, new room. He's got some antlers on the mountain up there. All right, this is a great shot. I mean, wow. Oof. And the second one too. Shox has this way about the way, like sometimes he has like perfect recoil control. I know it's just the USP, but the way it shoots is as if he's just got zero resistance in that gun, right?
Laser beams.
Yeah, laser beams.
You know, it's been quite some time since Astralis as an organization took a BO3 victory over Vitality. The last time would have been when the classic 5-man Astralis roster was still in the server, and that was at the very end, the conclusion of Blast 2020. The World Finals, they got the best of them. Ever since we've seen Astralis in different flavors, in Flux, it has been Vitality over and over. And obviously very recently as well, so.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting one because since then, I mean, in that period, Vitality dropped off a lot. They definitely, you know, ZywOo stayed very consistent throughout the year, but I mean, even with his performances, it just wasn't enough for them to win. There were just too many pieces that weren't showing up. But Vitality now, it's a real coming together of the system, and it feels like they're actually getting close to where they were at the tail end of 2020 with their consistency. And you know, even Apex, this event is having a great event as compared to like Pro League, where they just were.
Famas at a bit of a distance, up close, Masuda as well. On the other end, both proximities of the map being held by the SMGs. ZywOo with a double, Apex gets a second chance, but Bubsky is the one who gets the kill. And he's all that's left up. That was a Glock to blue box. I repeat, Glock to blue box kill.
Well, they had the full Glock win over Liquid last series. Fearsome with it. I don't think they spent time practicing too much with those. ZywOo is such a threat outside. I mean, there's always like the ZywOo simple comparison, but they have their own ways of playing the game for sure. They have distinct styles. ZywOo very clean and optimized, and I think one thing that stands out for him is just the way, the number of different kinds of positions that he plays and looks like a role player in all of them. The way he controls yard outside, oftentimes not with an op at all, and how comfortable he is when he does so. So I think that's what I'm going to be looking for specifically with Vitality here.
I'd say as mobile as well, man. I'm always stunned by how quick Simple is to reposition all around the map. Nobody seems more comfortable than him.
No one rotates more than Simple on Nuke. Absolutely not. And no one's better on CT side Nuke than Simple in the entire world.
You know, sometimes you see those like roller skating derbies. There's that one guy who's been there clearly for 30 years just doing pirouettes and spins. That's Simple when it comes to Nuke.
Just the strongest calves on the rink.
Dude, vibing.
It's got giant drama calves.
And the buys in from Astralis. 5 AKs. Utility still somewhat there, but a nice position from Apex is what gets this one started.
Damn,
and that's going to serve as the activation. Everybody else runs into the ramp room. ZywOo gives them a little bit of space. In fact, I'd say a bit more space.
Well, I kind of read that attack, actually. They didn't peek out for the jump in a ramp, saw they were coming forward. That's how smart he is. I don't know how he had that tip, but he read that situation perfectly.
Shox comes back up from the B site. May have been spotted. Bubsky seeming very focused on the closer peak, not so much mini, and then Dupree's going to go and clear it. So yeah, sure enough, just as Shox came up from vent, his kneecap must have been seen. And then the hut peek from Lucky. Damn, that's crisp. Kyojin gets deleted. And Kyojin inside of the A site of Nuke, I think that's something that we'll have to talk about as the CT side of Vitality keeps going.
Maybe we could talk about it now.
How about you let me finish this 4v3?
You think this is going to happen?
How about you wait until the save's confirmed?
They're going to wait until Kyojin gets another gun. Yeah.
Okay, you can go.
All right. So Kyojin it's obviously his worst spot on any map. It's actually what Apex said in the interview with Banks yesterday, maybe, that this is pretty much the only thing they have to worry about right now. That if they fix, the CT side of Nuke, especially with the upper, where everyone's trying to hit upper and kill Kyojin, then they don't really have anything to worry about for the most part. And that's just so palpably true. We've all seen it. And in the history of their upper Nuke in this last year with Kyojin coming on, they originally had Masuda working with Kyojin to play upper, but there was clearly no leadership when it was them two. It felt like they were both off on their own islands, not talking to each other, taking turns dying a lot. And so they moved Shox in, so you get some additional leadership, and Shox, an individual, stepped up quite a bit. And they have Kyojin, who now, you might actually see him get a 3K here or there, and that is not a knock on him, because it was actually him just getting flash, not getting a kill almost ever on these site holds, which became just such a glaring vulnerability for them. And it seems like that he is getting better. I will say that. It does seem like he is getting better. Still a bit inconsistent, but getting better. So here it is. No op, just rifle up. And the amount of times that he'll peek the side of red like that with a rifle is astounding. But they kill him getting away.
Ooh, Bubsky, so close. Down to a third of his HP, but inside of Secret, nonetheless. And he's not alone here. Dupree, the bomb carrier, also at the top of Secret, could come back up, challenge into Mini. We'll see. Zipix, in the meantime, doing his own thing over towards the ramp room. And Lucky looking to join forces. But his cross is not going to be made very easy. He still gets away with the kill versus Apex and takes no damage for it. So I'll eat my words. That seems simple enough. Man advantage here for Astralis, looking to tie this game at 2. Masuda, though, that ramp duel. The flex position, the opposite side of the map, doesn't go the way of Astralis. And then Lucky trying to get into the secret stairs because Dupree's got this bomb on site, also caught. So Vitality doing a very good job of getting back man advantage, wrestling it from the hands of their opponents. And despite this post-plant, we'll see if the retake gets going.
Speeds up a bit because of this Lucky death. He definitely had the keys to go for the lurk, but decided to try to join forces with them down Secret. Now in the 2v3, let's see if they can make something happen.
2 incendiaries for the retake. One hits the backside of the site. They can throw the other one on Dark, or now that they know someone's in control, maybe they hold on. Dupree will get busted up, and Kyojin now has to clutch. Bubsky, 34 health. Remember, weakened from his initial cross. And he's doing a good job of playing with the doors. That's it. Astralis hang on to the B bomb site. They get the job done, and they tie this at 2.
Beautiful between Bubsky and Dupree. He plays off him. Uses Dupree, knows where he is, that he can draw some attention. Dupree has the audio cues to allow Bubsky to be able to peek either the door or the window, and Bubsky gets his kills. That's all that really matters for Bubsky. Historically, he's had some trouble fitting into the team on T-side nuke, and that's something that even with Glaive, where Bubsky joined the team, this is one of the kind of standout spots in a bad way for Bubsky, but he has worked on it a bit. I think he's still not having the best event right now. Still think negative KD across like the last 10 or 11 maps, something like that. But definitely, I think improving on Nuke, I think, has learned a lot. So, all right, Vitality will go ahead and call a pause. It's an interesting one. They probably just have something Grant to go over. I doubt they're talking about issues so much as the future in this tack.
That's who you have on your screen right now. The future. Oh, it was Zywoo.
Shox is still. He's still the future.
Yeah,
who knows?
Yeah, he's the past and the present.
Shox is crazy, man. He's one of those versatile players in history. It has been hybriding a little bit more often on Vitality as well, which is something new for them. And in the past, was a very strong hybrid on a lot of the top French teams that he used to play on as well.
So the ball very much in the hands of Astralis coming into round 5.
They looking for the Zai.
They go with the silent cross, right? Numbers will not be known to the CTs. We saw Lucky get caught last round because of this gap between the 2 front runners and then everything behind it.
Yeah, sorry. So this right here, there's a huge gap, right? They have the outside smokes, but there's no one in secret to defend. No one has rotated down lower as well. So this could be just an incredible gap where the bomb could get planted and no one can rotate down. It really depends if Astralis realize that there's no one here to stop us, but it's not a fake. There really just is no one here. But it looks like they might actually second guess themselves, come back upstairs, where the CTs are waiting.
Oh, Dupree just throws himself into the smoke. Apex does the damage through it because of the audio cues, and then ZywOo cleans that up. A war of flashbangs unfolds inside of Garage, and Apex tries to get into the mix. Lucky was never able to get that bomb across to Secret, so as you primed it, you know, that open B bomb site, it was open in the 5v5, it's still open in the 3v5, and that's where Astralis will find themselves entering into the site. But now Masuda actually has come a couple steps closer. Shox is going to play this patient. Why? Numbers advantage. They're comfortable Vitality. They're going to try to push as the bomb's going down, which it will, and Lucky finds himself 1v4, but he's being swarmed, and he drops Apex at the very least. ZywOo gets this done. Vitality back to their lead. There was a chance there, but a lack of information, a lack of certainty, and a lack of conviction led Astralis to play this into Vitality's hand.
Yeah, I thought that they were playing into the doubt, but now I'm doubting myself just because Vitality didn't have full guns. So that means they could have just blindly stacked upper as opposed to, oh, this is a tendency. If Astralis don't see anyone downstairs, they might come back upstairs. I'm not so sure it's that. But these days, I am so inclined to believe that Apex does have a hand in some of these really great gambles and stuff because he has shown such amazing calls in the most recent games and recent tournaments for Vitality. He's definitely got it together in a big way on the IGL front.
Nice flash there from Will, made evident by the replay. ZywOo, once he gets blind, bounces one off of the wall to his left, and you saw it stop the front runner. Kyojin's just going to try to tuck his head down. We've already got this hut pop into the A site. Xyp9x will take Shox, but then falls himself. So Bomb has hit the ground, and so has Kyojin. 3 versus 2 with ZywOo inside of the site, but Lucky with the Tech 9. That is a big kill. Opens up site momentarily. Damage back versus Astralis. Lucky's in with another kill. Masuda gives chase, and he's got 2 M4 headshots for that 4th Vitality round win.
Beautiful. 1-on-2 from Masuda to tie things up neatly there. And that was Lucky with a beautiful shot onto ZywOo in the back of the site. Didn't see that happening. But you gotta say, Lucky, he has gotten very bright-eyed, especially off this last series. The impact was pure on Dust 2 last match, both halves.
Especially the second.
Yeah, especially the second. So many clutch kills for sure.
And you know, we've been listening to the Astralis players, those around him say like, yeah, the improvements are evident. And then we've been kind of waiting to see that stick in the officials and be very clear inside of the server. Well, that victory over Liquid has to be attributed to Lucky's map 3 performance. Think of the high he is riding coming into this challenge versus Vitality.
Yeah, Maniac mentioned it, and it's just true when you look at a lot of the players that are even in the server, like Masuda, for example. You know, we've got to extend a kind of a grace period for players like Kyojin and Lucky who are just coming in.
The jump offsets Crosshair, still Masuda with the double, and the big spray from Apex. ZywOo's here to get it. He lends a helping hand. Apex is like, did you see all those shots? Did you see that damage output?
You stole my kills.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mood is good. Cleanup is good.
Apex drops into the all chat. I thought you were dead. Mamma mia.
Mamma mia, he says.
Apex says mamma mia.
Yeah.
Thought he was French. Turns out he's Italian. Astralis gets through the couple of challenging rounds. Back into the guns. Kyojin MP9. That's okay. Sit on top of hut, or in his case, rafters at the moment. Playing that much further above his enemies, potentially.
Waiting to see these same smokes come out outside, and what goes through Magic's mind in this situation, because he was able to get so much control off of these smokes last time, and it wasn't interrupted. So here they throw the smokes again, which can cause a movement. It looks like he's going to try to sneak into Squeaky. This is one of his pocket plays. It works well this time. Great flash from Lucky. Now upstairs is under threat.
Yeah, we've got ZywOo in the back of the site, and Kyojin has fallen off of the rafters to play inside of the hut. Oh, Apex comes out from vent, doesn't quite get his kill. Bubsky bettering him. Kyojin, there's been so many bullets flying beyond, but it's really going to be Magisk inside of Heaven that could unravel this. ZywOo has to watch it as his teammate comes up the ladder and presents his face on a silver platter. Now in the 2v5, Bubsky getting Kyojin. Zywoo, huge clutch attempt, but never meant to happen. That is Astralis right back at it. So Magisk, like you said, one of his pocket plays comes into Mini. We had Shocks fully blinded, wasn't able to stop anything, and Astralis take that one with conviction.
Yeah, he does it off the same smokes. Again, it's the flash from Lucky that does the most. And I believe it's a flash that comes from Mini, because I don't think Lucky was outside to flash over Mini. Sorry, comes from inside Squeaky. And it works out just beautifully. Now, the ridiculous part about that is we're following Magisk's itinerary as he wraps slowly outside. Zywoo is aware of his rotation more than Masuda is coming up the ladder and gets caught off there. Uh-oh.
Already opening up.
Trouble in paradise.
Yeah, limited guns. Astralis starting to find a little bit of tempo here. Variations on this outer play as well. This time, no wall of smokes. They still feel confident enough to just get themselves into secret. Oh, patience pays off. Now just one M4, and in the exact same spot as his fallen comrade. Oh, nice. Masuda. If only he was able to snap that second. Then we're really talking.
Masuda the shooter?
Not bad.
All right.
Vitality still leading by 1, 5-4. But this is a very quick opening outside. Bubsky taking that first duel, takes Apex's head off. Apex kind of getting pushed around the server at the moment.
Yeah, he likes to get rambunctious with it. So they throw the smoke to clear the back of Mini. Look like a slow default. They end up just running across outside. Anti-eco for them. Vitality have the right answer. They know they're coming outside, but they don't get the kill. So another pressure play here. Nade out of the Squeaky. And of course, the value of this is it occupies the CTs. It puts pressure on them for not having smokes, which is really important on upper. But in this situation on the double save, Vitality are chilling outside. They've got one man inside of the hut. And they'll sit and wait for the cross.
The only real point to note, Vitality have a 1 Zeus in this round. 1 Zeus in the hands of Shocks inside of hut. If you're into that kind of stuff, then keep your eyes wide. The WSP peak on the rooftop nets them nothing. Magisk, easy anti-ecos, big wall of smokes, and they're going to use that mini routing to try and take it to A site. So Shocks, yeah, the taser, not quite.
Yeah. Magisk just shouldered all the ammo, like 50 Cent out here. So many bullets in the chest. Didn't even flinch.
Now he's going to invest in vitamin water.
I like the way... and then just get out of rap. Make all his money there. I like the way that Astralis are moving. Let's see if they can do something. Again, we have a couple of ecos to kind of pad our perceptions here. But these outside plays have been nice. And as you mentioned, so much variety. Different tempos, different smokes, different plays. So I'm so curious. What's the answer going to be right here? You know, because at this point, there's so much conditioning that's gone into outside that it's going to be on the mind of Vitality whether it gets used or not, which means it'll affect their movements whether Astralis cross or not. They throw those same smokes if they want to. They have so much power in those smokes now. But for that reason, you don't want to overcommit when you see those smokes because it could be a fast upstairs play we saw Zip do earlier on. Let's see what the move is going to be. Grenades are slightly low here. We're missing some incendiaries for Vitality. So this is a big situation where if you can read the money, it'll tell you a lot. But okay, quick tactic. Ooh, Apex out in the open in front of Mini. But you could see they were forcing the attention outside. Trade comes down for them.
Like a deer in the headlights, man. Nice crisp headshot from Bree as well.
Yeah.
Shocks, though, this could be the big one. He just heard Dupree jump, plays the sound cue beautifully. Shocks, killer instinct. Killer instinct. And now it's Masuda's turn. Sure enough, Bubsky offers himself up. There is an op holding over the shoulder of Zipex, but Zipex needs no assistance. What he needs is more HP. He's left on 11 in this 2 versus 2.
Yikes.
Must have drank that bottle before he filled it with gas.
Okay, so it's a fake to lower to try to draw a rotate out. It doesn't come, and they still got a full kit on Lucky as well, which means they have options. They're careful not to use that utility, knowing they're going to try something else. And the idea behind faking lower is try to pull people out of the rafters, so they feel like now they can get into heaven.
Correct.
Yeah,
they drop bomb over because Zipex is so low HP that he's just going to stay up in heaven.
So we know
or no, just going to bait peek. Okay.
you know, inside hut, by squeaky, by the vent is normally where people are going to be. And
the timing.
Kyojin, if he's very careful, he'll be able to see feet. This is not a strong spot. But Xyp9x is so wise to come back out.
Damn. And then they walk away, but somebody has to drop and plant. Now that's going to happen. Very smooth. Very good use of a low HP player. And Zip just playing around with timing gets the better of Kyojin. Shocks, though. Capable of a clutch. Man's won a couple here and there, but not this time. No, the double peak. Very well timed by Astralis.
Wow.
Just nice time in terms of the individual play from I almost said Xyp9x. And then also nice timing in terms of peaking at the same time to really finish that one off. So very clean 2v2 to close that from Astralis. We've got to sing their praise. They now lead this T side by 1.
This is a very exciting T side for Astralis. You can see how much leadership went into this from Xyp9x. The whole thing was planned out. Those next 30 seconds, as soon as he went downstairs, they knew what they wanted to get out of it. And of course, those